With all the information shared online, how do we know what's legit? Today we're going to find out if content creators on YouTube are biased when it comes down to their gear reviews. Have you ever stumbled upon a gear review on YouTube of a certain piece of gear that you're interested in, and you kind of find the creator and you're not sure if the information is legit and unbiased? Well, I'm going to share how I do my gear reviews and also show you my process of when it comes down to what I choose to review. Because in all honesty, I want to show you the truth when it comes down to being unbiased and truthful to a community online when it comes down to these gear reviews, because spoiler alert, no YouTuber wants to lie to you because they honestly don't want to lose their audience, they want to grow it. And if they're not truthful to you, well, guess what? You're probably not coming back, and that fire will spread faster than anything, and then nobody will come and watch your videos. So let's talk about how do I choose to review products so that I can be as fair as possible, unbiased, and truthful when it comes down to gear reviews. Personally, for myself, I go ahead and choose gear that I personally am interested in or would want to buy, or I would want to see if I can get my hands on it because I'm curious to know if it's worth the investment for myself, for my content creation, whether it's photography or videography, and that it could help my audience in that way. And I also do gear reviews on gear that I've already bought myself, and I think it's so beneficial to me that I think could help other people. And sometimes it's a trending little matter and sometimes it's not, but it's always great to kind of get that input of things that I would personally truthfully believe that I could help my audience so that they can make the most educated, buy for themselves, so they're not spending money, because nobody likes to go ahead and spend money whenever they don't need to. So let's talk about the sponsored versus loaned out type of content gear reviews. A sponsored kind of videos, when it comes down to it for gear reviews, most of the time it comes down to you either getting paid by the company to review their content, or maybe you're a certain ambassador that way, or they're wanting to really get you to review something, so they're wanting to pay you to do it, no matter if it's going to be good or bad. Some of them have contractual obligations, so not always is it the most ideal when it comes down to gear reviews, but a lot of the times most YouTubers really have a say into what they would want to put out there, and if they can't get what they want to, they're more than likely are not going to take it. For example, when I have companies reach out to me, I give them a couple scenarios of what could happen when it comes down to a sponsored video. I either tell them that they can send me the product, no strings attached, and if I really like it and I test it out on my own and I think it could be beneficial for my audience and myself, that I really love the product, I'll make a video, but I cannot guarantee that I'm going to make that video. Or they can go the route where they can pay me for my labor and my time when it comes down to creating the video for their review, to guarantee that they'll get a review out of the product that they sent me. But I still make sure to let them know that they have no say when it comes down to saying the pros and cons, the good, the bad, who's it for, who's it not for, and see if it's worth a product for people in my audience with my personal experience, no matter if I'm getting paid or not. And now when it comes down to loaned gear for reviews, it's basically that you reach out to a company, or maybe they'll reach out to you. They'll say, hey, we'll loan you this piece of gear, because they probably have a good, search named on YouTube, Google, and everything, that you could get a good audience numbers, for viewership that makes sense for you to just only do a loan type of gear review. And most of the time they won't have a say of what you do with it and everything, which is quite nice because it's less stress in that situation. Perfect example would be that if like Sony came up to me and asked me to review one of their cameras, because I know that most people are going to be searching for that, it makes sense to just do an exchange of they loan it to me, I reviewed my experience and everything, send it back to them, and that's that. I have done that with Tamron. They've been graciously enough to loan me a lot of their lenses whenever it comes down to asking them. And it's been really great to be able to test them out for myself, just to see how they could aid my photography, videography, and content creation, as well as because people have asked me about it. And it just makes sense to make a video when it comes down to those lenses, because I know they're going to be highly searched on YouTube. So it'll help my channel grow without having to be biased or, untruthful to you about working with them and that I'm gaining something out of it, because in reality, they honestly tell me that I can do whatever I want to with the video. They've never told me that I can't talk about X, Y, or Z of things, whether it's good or bad. They just tell me, here you go, test it out, hopefully enjoy it, make your videos. If you would like to, please share the links of the video so we can check it out, which to me just seems like with that, they just want to make sure that us as the consumers are enjoying their products, and my audience is enjoying it too, what questions they might have to better themselves for the future. So when it comes down to those type of gear reviews, I can't really be biased about it, because despite of me using Tamron and reaching out to them to get loaners, in reality is, I already bought most of my lenses literally from Tamron with my own money. They have never given me a lens or anything like that, which would I take one? Of course, because I already have shot with them, so it makes sense. So for me, it's about being truthful about what I like, what I don't like about them, and always giving you the best insight that I can so that you get the best knowledge for your educated buy of whatever piece of gear that you want to get. And to be honest, the only type of gear reviews that I even steer away from, because they always seem a little bit forced, are the typical launch day type of reviews. For example, like when you see the new Sony a7C Mark II and you had the launch day where every YouTuber out there had some sort of experience with it. They got to travel somewhere and make the videos on the camera and everything like that. It just seemed a little bit like, you kind of have to talk good about them to me, which I would not want to be a part of in reality, because I would want to make it myself and talk about the good and bad no matter what camera. I get it. You probably have some, commitments with it, and that's okay. Most of us would want to be a part of something that big, which I think it's understandable that you get to experience it, get your hands on it, and then after that, maybe do your real review on it, which, to be honest, most of those YouTubers tend to do that a couple days after the launch day. They'll talk about what they like, what they didn't like, what could they be better, what they expect from the brand in the future, and so on and so forth, that just make a lot of sense to me anyway. So I never take it too much bad, like if they don't speak in a sense badly in the first video, because they're just more talking about what they're liking of the experience so far, and then they'll talk about what's needed to be talked about correctly. Some of the best content creators out there that talk more about the factual and the kind of science behind of the gear himself is most of the time like Jared Polin or Gerald Undone. The best thing about them is that they talk about how many, dynamic range can it have, how good is it with the autofocus, this and that. That's more about the factual things of the camera comparison to other cameras. So it's really good to see that kind of review as well, where you're just getting the facts. There's no real, bias or anything. So they have nothing to gain from lying to you about how the camera functions, because like every content creator will always want to do is they want to build a community so that they're able to grow their audience, and there's no point to lie to you. In reality, it actually goes against our goal when it comes down to, YouTube, is we wouldn't want to lie to you, because then we lose what we're creating and working so hard at and putting all these hours to essentially at the beginning make no money. Because in reality, I don't gain anything from lying to you. YouTubers don't gain anything from lying to you and being biased and untruthful. There's nothing wrong with liking a brand or a company or a product that you're wanting to make videos about that might make you sound like you're biased, but we're all human. We're all gonna like something, and if we like it enough, we're gonna talk a lot about it, whether we're getting paid or not. Because if Tamron or Sony came to me and said, hey, we're gonna pay you X amount of money to make a video on this camera, well, guess what? I've already bought my own cameras and lenses with my own money, that brand. Why wouldn't I not want to work with them? Because in reality, it's a good stepping stone of a bridge to be able to just kind of create that partnership with a brand that I believe in anyway. So to me, that's kind of like how it goes when it comes down to that. It's not a bias thing. It's just more you've built up enough trust with that brand, just how I would want to build that trust and community with you guys, that you would understand when I like something, when I don't like it, if it's, good or bad, pros and cons, who's it for, who's it not, so that you understand that I just want to share what could help you guys out, because that's what I look for as well when I look up for content creators that help me make a better decision for my type of photography, to learn better lighting, any gear reviews that I'm interested in that I can't get my hands on, just to know that I could get something that will help me out to become a better content creator. I'll leave this question with you. Do you think that YouTubers are honestly biased and untruthful when it comes down to their gear reviews because you think that they're getting paid or they have certain contractual obligations? Or do you think that they're fine how they're doing their job and you actually, trust most of their reviews to know that it's going to not be biased and, untruthful because they gain nothing from lying to you? Because I want to know if it feels genuine when it comes down to gear reviews whenever you're looking at them, or if you would prefer a different type of method. For myself, eventually, I think it'd be great to see more product placement type of, sponsored content. Let's say that a certain company wants to, sponsor me for a video to put, let's say, lights in my office or something, so that people see me using it and feel more like, hey, he's using that. I want to know more about that. And then I start, that organic kind of type of conversation, because Genuinely, I have more people ask me what filter did I have on my camera because they saw it, not so much because I was making a video about it, or hey, what did you use to make this look more foggy? Oh, did you use a Cinebloom filter or did you use a fog machine? And then I start talking more about it, and then they like that product. That supporting the channel through the affiliate links is really great. So I appreciate everybody that asks me questions, and then they go to the affiliate links in my channel description to help out the channel that way. So that's something that I think is very cool and genuine, that maybe eventually more brands will look into doing more of the product placement like how they do in movies. But who knows? Just thought it'd be kind of interesting to talk about this today. And I appreciate everybody that's been watching this video so far, because I know it's going to be a little bit of a lengthy one and a kind of little talking conversation rambling on. But, you know, I love just conversing with you guys and giving this community sense of just, you know, togetherness to be able to discuss things like that and be open about it all. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.